with a speech title, Blow Your Own Trumpet. Blow Your Own Trumpet, Fernando.
Good morning. I'm sure many of you, just like me, when you were growing up, you were quite often told not to praise yourself. You might have been informed that self-praise is no praise. And definitely you would have heard the proverb, don't blow your own trumpet. Isn't it true? Ladies and gentlemen, I have a question for you. If you do not blow your own trumpet, who's going to do it for you? Contest chair, honorable judges, my dear friends, multinational companies, private limited organizations and corporations, they spend lots of money every year promoting their image, letting people around them know what they're doing. Now, don't you think we should do that for ourselves so that our friends and relatives know the good that we are doing? Let me give you an example. I've been donating blood faithfully for the last 22 years. 4 times a year. That's what they allow. I recently made an announcement to my friends. I said, I've donated blood 88 times. They were all excited. One of them even asked, any blood left? But forget about me. Think about yourself, ladies and gentlemen. You are seated here today, all of you beautiful people. Don't you deserve once in a way a bit of self-praise? Think about your lives. When you were young, many of you had to struggle, undergo trials and tribulations to be where you are today. Some of you, while schooling, you had to go to work. Isn't it true? And there are many of you today, while working, you have gone back to school. You sacrificed entertainment and the good life. My God, you deserve once in a way to blow your own trumpet. Ladies and gentlemen, we are actually abnormal people. Above normal. Because we put in effort to improve our lives. And one of the best ways to keep on improving our lives is once in a way to get a self-praise. Of course, humility is a virtue, they say. In the Holy Book it says, the meek and the humble shall inherit the earth. I'm wondering which part of the earth they are going to inherit. Maybe the sea with all the salt. Because everywhere we go, we see the people who speak well of themselves and their accomplishments. They are the ones getting the better parts of the earth. They are the ones who are sort of to do business with. My dear friends, I humbly submit that self-praise, rightly used, can self-motivate. I was recently at a motivation course, and there was this moderator from Australia, a tall gentleman by the name of Tom Fraser. The whole day, he was talking about affirmations using self-praise phrases for self-motivation. And he had a long list of self-praise phrases. Among them was, I've got charisma. And one I still use every day, I'm a magnet for money. At the end of the seminar, he passed around a hat, this tall Australian gentleman, and he said, well, you take off whatever phrases are there, and you got to say it every day in an enthusiastic way. Australian, you know. I said, every day? He said, every day. So I took off my phrase, and my God, this is what I got. Listen, please. It went something like this. I feel good, I feel great, I am handsome. I could feel transformation taking place immediately, every day, in an enthusiastic way. I feel good, I feel great, I am handsome. I was on a roll. I was thinking of even changing my first name to Handsome. That would be nice, isn't it? Handsome Fernando. I went on every day. I feel good, I feel great. One day my wife stopped me and said, Stephen, the part about handsome, better leave it out. She's from India, you know. She said, Stephen, I'll tell you something. You can do whatever you want, but this one, Stephen, beyond redemption. Be that as it may, my dear friends, you know it works. Why don't we allow us once in a way a self-praise? That is something we could indulge in free of charge. When we were young, we loved to be praised. Why not we do it for ourselves? Why not we do unto ourselves what we would like others to do unto us? We are what we are because of what we think we are. And if we hear the correct word, verbalize, it definitely helps us, does it not? My dear friends, you and I, we could reach the pinnacles of success in our respective careers. Oh yes, we can. And the good news is, we do not have to start at the bottom. We have gone through the basics and the fundamentals are in place. We have, to a certain extent, paid the price. I leave you, my dear friends, with what I hope is a very encouraging message, that all of us are born perfect in many ways. Oh yes, we are. We got to think about it, so that we don't spend time comparing ourselves with others and feeling inferior. We are born perfect in many ways. The few ways where we are not perfect, not important. We got to think about it. We are important people. Our lives is important. Once in a way, you might get, for example, a man coming and telling you, oh, I'm a failure, I'm not perfect, I failed in business, I failed in marriage, I failed in studies. Then, ladies and gentlemen, we must look at him and say, you, sir, are a perfect failure.